Welcome, Capricorn, to the month of September 2018. I'm Megan of North Star Astrology, and this is another general transits reading for those of you born with your sun, moon, and or rising signs in the 10th sign of Capricorn, the sea goat and or mountain goat. And to begin with, really quickly, I want to mention that at the end of your reading, I will be providing you a bonus synopsis and or bonus information, as well as artwork of my own on your information, your positive characteristics and or attributes and or your negative characteristics and or traits to let go. And that will be spoken of at the end of your reading. But for now, let's get on with what is going to be happening for you in September. Now, September starts out, the aspects start out on September 2nd at 5 hours 58 minutes when Mars in your second house of money and what you value in Aquarius trines the moon. Wait a minute here. Let me make sure of that. Oh. Pardon me. Mars is in your first house to begin with, in Capricorn. And the only way it would be able to trine the moon in Taurus is if it were 4 signs or 4 houses away. Duh. Okay, my bad. Okay, so Mars in your first house of the self and the physical body harmoniously trines the moon in your 5th house of romance and creativity in Taurus. That's where my moon sign is. I have my moon in Taurus. And so with this Mars trine moon harmony, your action planet in your first house of the self and body trining the moon, your emotions in your 5th house of romance and creativity gives you that down-to-earth, grounded, and pragmatic, responsible, and like, wow. You know, you're going to wow people. So that's on September 2nd. Then the following day, the last quarter moon occurs at 10 degrees Gemini, 34 minutes in your 6th house of work, health, and service given. 6th house, the house of work, health, and service given. And any last moment or last, or, you know, kind of like endings, it's the endings of things during the last quarter phase moon. Maybe you'll be ending some kind of health issue, and now your health will improve. Then also on the following day after that, on September 4th, Mercury in your 8th house in Leo sextiles or makes a 60-degree aspect to the last quarter moon, fire, air, air, fire, Mercury in Leo, and that happens at 6 hours 38 minutes. 2 signs away, 2 houses away. Beautifully positive but short and sweet sextile between your emotions of the last quarter phase moon to your mind and how you're thinking about possibly asking for another raise at work or garnering financial support from others, as this is the house of others as resources. So very soon, you may very well receive money. Then on September 6th, Saturn, which is your ruling planet, in your first house of the self and body, stations direct. And I don't have one of those retrograde tabs, but you get the idea. It stations direct at 11 hours, 10 minutes. And that's very good for actions as well. And also Pluto is over here, retrograde. All 3 planets, pretty significant, deep and transformational, manifesting, and assertive actions. All 3 planets in your first house in your sign, Capricorn, going on right now. Then, in September. Then on September 6th as well, Mercury, having been transiting your 8th house, leaves Leo and enters Virgo into your 9th house of law and higher learning. Like higher learning such as universities, but also maybe philosophies, developing a new philosophy, because it's also the house of religion and philosophy. Then, on September 6th as well, at 12 hours and 44 minutes, Mars, in your first house of the self and body in your sign, Capricorn, opposes the moon once the moon goes into your 7th house of others in your opposite sun sign of Cancer. And as I always like to say, this is doing a 180, or the point of awareness, as it gives you an emotional awareness as to how you're going about your actions and what it is emotionally within relationships that you need to discover about, perhaps how you're presenting yourself, as in improving your demeanor and or your body language, or some other sort of way of your being emotionally aware of your actions. Isn't that beautiful? And that happens at 13 hours 55 minutes. Then on September 8th at 13 hours 32 minutes, Venus, having been transiting your 9th house of law and higher learning in Virgo, then sextiles the moon once the moon, or I guess the moon is still maybe at the tail end of the 7th house, so because it takes 2.5 days for each for the moon to transit each sun sign. Okay, so two houses away, 2 signs away. Venus, the planet of love, sextiles the moon in your 7th house. So from the 7th to the 9th houses, emotionally, there's a lot of positive love influence with perhaps overseas communications, all of that. Then the new moon occurs in your 8th house of sex, death, and taxes in Leo, because Leo comes before Virgo. Cancer, Leo, Virgo. So the new moon at exactly 17 degrees occurs. So new ways of discovering others' values and respecting those values. Newness about your 8th house. Also on September 9th, Venus enters... Oh boy. I hope I didn't just do this again. Hang on a second. I did this the last time. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I just came off of a 1-week vacation and I'm going, oh, shoot. Okay. You know what? Venus was in Libra. Gosh darn it. Scratch that about the Venus sextile moon. Venus enters Scorpio into your 11th house of friendships. Okay? I'll get this straight one way or another. So, and that happens at 9 hours, 26 minutes. Then, on September 10th, at 15 hours, 14 minutes, Mars, in your sign, Capricorn, Mars in Capricorn, trines the moon once the moon comes over here and enters Virgo. Now we have Mercury in Virgo now, and the moon now in Virgo. Okay, so Virgo is an earth sign like yourself, only it's a mutable earth sign, and Mars is in Capricorn, and you are a cardinal earth sign, and now it is Mars in your sign, Capricorn, Mars in Capricorn, is harmoniously trining the moon in Virgo. That's a beautiful placement, by the way, moon in Virgo. I like people with their moon in Virgo. They're so genteel. Okay, so moon in the 9th house. That gives you a very philosophical way of expressing yourself. And with this Mars in Capricorn harmoniously trining the moon in Virgo, there's an earthy, down-to-earth, earthy, common sense way of how you're emotionally, actively expressing yourself. Then, Mars, the following day, on September 11th, Mars now finally enters Aquarius at 0 hours 57 minutes. Okay, so now Mars is in your 2nd house of money and what you value. Now you will be actively, truly actively, uniquely attracting or going after and working toward money. Woohoo! Okay? And then on September 11th as well at 22 hours 59 minutes, Pluto retrograde squares the moon in Libra in your 10th house. So this 90-degree aspect or challenging aspect between Pluto, the farthest away planet, the deep delving planet, now squaring the moon in your 10th house, your naturally residing 10th house of the career and public standing. Also the house of ego. So here's where you'll need to be mindful as egos run amok when there's a square in any time you have, well, anything to do with the 10th house and emotions. So, and ego stands for edging God out. So don't edge God out, allow God in, as the new moon hopefully helped you go within and start anew. And now with this Pluto retrograde in your sign, Capricorn, there is a need to transform the self, not just physically, but also emotionally with this square that gives you the opportunity for that. Then too, on September 12th, Jupiter in Scorpio in your 11th house of friendships then sextiles Pluto. Whoops. Jupiter sextiles Pluto. Okay, so from your first house to your 11th house, there's this, once again, positive energy, largely as Jupiter is the largest planet, and outwardly as Pluto's the outwardmost planet, delving deeply as Pluto not only rules Scorpio, and see the juxtaposition here, Pluto rules Scorpio and Jupiter is in Scorpio. So it's interesting how they somehow tie together for you to positively transform yourself even further within friendship matters. Okay? And or maybe a friend helps you transform. Then on September 14th at 8 hours and 55 minutes, the Sun in Leo sextiles the Moon in Libra. So from your 8th to your 10th houses, this pleasant, short but sweet sextile between the Sun and Moon gives you a general sense of well-being and happiness between now being able to express yourself well in your career, your naturally residing 10th house, to hopefully ask for a promotion or others as resources, in other words, your higher ups, for resources for whatever it is you may need. Then on September 16th at 23 hours 16 minutes, the Sun squares the Moon. Once the Moon goes into your 11th house of friendships and hopes, goals, and wishes, squaring 90-degree challenge to the Sun. So from the 8th house to the 11th house, or 3 house or 3 signs away, you now have the Sun squaring the Moon. So now there's maybe a bit of a challenge if you're asking for financial support from friends. Then on September 16th as well, the first quarter moon happens at, let's see here, 24 degrees Sagittarius 2 minutes in your 12th house of the subconscious mind and dreams. And having the moon here will give you a bit of a respite. That's good. Some time to relax. But it also can sometimes give you a bit of worry. So I know because my mom's natal moon is in the 12th house. There's always this touchiness in some ways when moon transits or natally is in the 12th house. So just be mindful. But however, first quarters mean, first strides out from that new moon. Then, on September 19th at 17 hours 11 minutes, the sun trines the moon. While the moon is still making its way out of the 12th house, and the sun is still over here in Leo. So from the 12th to the 8th, both fire signs give you that fiery but most positively harmonious energy, as it's a 120 or even number to how you emotionally identify or express yourself within a more, I don't know how to put, some sort of creative context when it comes to asking for or going within your subconscious mind and asking for, through a dream even, that's what this house represents, the Piscean house. So that's good, and this will help you, mind you, in the long run. Then on September 21st at 17 hours 14 minutes, Jupiter in Scorpio in your 11th house of friendships squares the moon. Let's see, I hope I'm getting that right. Let's see. Once the moon, goes into your second house of money, joining along with Mars there, okay? And again, there's going to be some kind of challenge between, largely between any kind of group friendships, group events, and emotions regarding money and resources toward something you're working toward. And then on September 22nd, Mercury enters Libra. Mercury enters your 10th house of career. In the other cardinal sign, you're cardinal, but this is cardinal air. Libras are cardinal air. Your 10th house of career. Libras are cardinal air. You are cardinal earth. And that happens at 3 hours 41 minutes. Then too, the following day, September 23rd, the sun moves into, boy, I guess that's why I was off. Dang it. Okay, never mind me. Okay, the sun was over here in Virgo this whole time. Oh my God. Okay, I'll get on to this. I'll get back in the groove. Okay, the sun enters Libra into your 10th house of career. Your naturally residing 10th house, Capricorns. At 1 hour 55 minutes, okay? Then, the following day, even so, on September 24th, at 5 hours 27 minutes, Jupiter in Scorpio. I was only off by 2 of the planets. Oh, okay. Jupiter trines the moon Once the moon comes into your third house of communications into Pisces, then trines the moon. So from your 11th house to your third house. I'm still in vacation mode. Oh my God, I'm telling you. I got to go to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk for the first time in many moons. Oh my God, I had so much fun. Oh my God, I loved it. Oh, it was wonderful. And I got to see my mom in her convalescent hospital. Oh my goodness. Very, very moving. Very, all of it. What a great trip. Okay, so back to your reading. Jupiter harmoniously trining the moon in Pisces. From the 3rd to the 11th house. Largely, you will be having a lot of activity within the scope of group events in your 11th house of friendships, goals, hopes, and wishes, and group events, harmoniously being able to emotionally convey what you need to communicate in a very harmonious way. So you got a lot of luck and harmony around you in the month of September, Capricorns. Then the full moon happens at 1 degree Aries, 60 minutes. 1 degree Aries, 60 minutes in your 4th house of the home. Okay, and on September 26th at 10 hours, 29 minutes, Pluto in retrograde form in your sign of Capricorn squares the moon. So from your 1st to your 4th houses, or 3 signs away, 3 houses away, you have the full moon in full form in the other cardinal sign, this time cardinal fire. The first cardinal sign, and the 1st house is naturally ruled by Aries. However, you have Capricorn on your 1st house when it's in transiting form. However, this flavor of Pluto, Saturn, and then Mars, when it was in your sign, gives you that fiery energy, the drive. And so now, with the full moon still in full form, or woo energy, squaring Pluto retrograde, it's giving you that intensity within the home base. Okay, then on the final day, on September 28th at 22 hours 37 minutes, Jupiter opposes the moon in your 5th house, coming full circle in Taurus. Jupiter in Scorpio opposing the moon in Taurus, now being much aware of romantic partners, and in a big way giving them the awareness they need versus your needs. And all around, it's going to be a good month for you, Capricorns. And now on to your bonus reading. Oh my goodness, bless your hearts. I really do apologize for the flub ups. Okay, so Capricorn, your quality is cardinal, your element is earth, your ruling planet is Saturn, as I mentioned earlier. Your anatomy is the knees and the lower legs. Watch out for your knees, kneecaps, because see here, and that's why you have this, you also very much rule the skeletal system and or dental issues. Your glyph is the sea goat horn. See the horns and the curvature of the horn, much like the ram. Okay, you are the ruler of the 10th house, as I spoke of before, and your opposite sun sign is Cancer. Okay, then your key phrase is I use. You know, in other words, to get ahead and or do things. You use to progress. Your positive characteristics and or attributes are that you use caution, you're responsible, you're scrupulous, you're conventional, you're businesslike, you have a tendency to be a perfectionist, but that's not bad. You're traditional, you're practical, you're hardworking, you're economical, and you're serious. The negative characteristics and or traits to let go are that you can be egotistic, domineering, unforgiving, fatalistic, the mind rules the heart, stubborn, brooding, inhibited, and status seeking. And there's ways to offset that. Oops. And you have abilities that are far-reaching. In other words, you can be broad-minded. And then, let's get right to this with the coloring pencils. And I'm going to use this hazel color for this upper part of the body. And with subsequent readings or readings to follow this in October, I will fill it out more, and I will continue to color in while I'm finishing up your reading. And that's about it for now. And I really do apologize for my flub ups. Oh my god. I thought I had it clearly. I didn't, though. I clearly didn't, because I don't know where my mind was. Okay, so I just wanted to express my deepest regrets there. Okay, and oh my god. Okay, and I'm usually a perfectionist, being that I have Virgo rising, and I just feel so embarrassed right now. Okay. And there's no way I can edit this, as this is just being done on a tablet, okay? So this gives you some idea of my artistic abilities. This is my handwriting, or longhand, versus my shorthand, or what you regularly see during the readings. That's shorthand or printing. And I do dearly love the written word, and or how, well, back in the day, I don't know if anybody even does that much writing, like of letters and stuff, and I'm going to try to send my mother a birthday card, actually, because her birthday is coming up in 7 more days. So I went ahead and celebrated it early. I figured since I was down there, might as well, and so, yeah, just wanted to express that. And, it's just been so wonderful. I just can't even begin to express to you. And so that's the added bonus. And, if you still want to feel free to give this a thumbs up, and I do hope you enjoyed watching this. Comment down below, feel free to subscribe, and let's see if I can do a little better next month in October, okay? So with that, I hope you have a wonderful, harmonious month of September, and be it a peaceful month, okay? And all around, I think you will have a great month. Thanks, and bye.